Hi, I'm Emma from Barre Body. I'm going to take you through a short prenatal core sequence. Now, you might be thinking, hang on a minute, aren't I supposed to not do any core work throughout pregnancy? Yes and no. What we want to avoid in pregnancy is working our six-pack muscles. So these ones where I'm not sporting a really fantastic six-pack at the moment, these ones here, I like to call them your glamour muscles. We want to completely let any work go. The reason being is what can often happen is that we can end up in pregnancy with a separation of these muscles. And the more this kind of crunchy core work that you do, the more likely that is to happen. So we want to let go of any kind of frontal abdominal work. If you do have separation of the abdominal muscles, it's very, very common. It happens to lots of women. It happened to me in my first pregnancy, and you can work to repair it afterwards. So please don't worry. It's very, very common. I recommend working with a physio or a Pilates instructor who specializes in women's or postnatal Pilates or physiotherapy. You can absolutely get this sorted post-pregnancy. Throughout pregnancy, we just want to let them go, let them relax, make plenty of space for the baby. What we do want to do is work our obliques. So these are our side bending muscles, the ones that can give us a nice waist, or maybe not so much throughout pregnancy, but we still want to work our oblique muscles, our twisting muscles. We also want to work our transverse abdominis. So the transverse abdominis is a beautiful band of muscles that wrap around the spine, helping to stabilize you, keep you strong, and I guess gives a lot of core support. So we still want to work these muscles and these muscles, but not these muscles. So I'm going to show you some short exercises that will help you work your transverse abdominis and your obliques. So let's get started. We'll start on all fours. We're going to do some opposite arm and leg raises. These are my favorite transverse stabilizing exercises. So starting on all fours, knees hip distance apart, hands shoulder distance apart, puff up through the chest here. We want to make sure we're not sinking into the chest or sinking into the belly here. So find a beautiful neutral spine. Inhale to prepare, and then exhale, lift the left arm up and away from you. Inhale here, and exhale to bring it back down to the mat. Going to the right side now. Inhale to prepare, keeping everything strong and stable. Exhale, reach that arm up and away from you. Inhale, stay here. Exhale, lower down. Left leg, inhale, stay. Exhale, extend the left leg behind you. Think about tightening that band, that transverse band around your belly, just drawing it all in. Exhale to lower down. Trying not to, you might have noticed my hip when I brought my hand up to show you. You might have noticed my hip opened a little bit. We want to keep the hips nice and steady. So we want to keep these hip bones pointing in the same direction. So no opening up here. What can tend to happen is a little bit of this action. We want to keep it nice and stable. So let's do the right side. Inhale, prepare. Activate the transverse abdominis. So drawing the lower belly inward and upward. Exhale, extend the right leg out behind you. Slow and steady wins the race here. Inhale, hold. Keep drawing up through the lower belly and the pelvic floor. Exhale, lower down. You can continue to work at that pace. So one arm, go arm, arm, leg, leg. Or for a little bit stronger, we can do opposite arm and leg raises. So let's inhale, prepare. Exhale, reaching the right arm, left leg out. Inhale, stay here. Exhale, lower down, keeping everything as stable as possible, bringing the hand and the knee down at the same time. Inhale, prepare. Exhale. as you extend. Inhale, stay here, and exhale. So we're moving on the exhalation because we tend to be more stable on the exhalation. If you want to go a little stronger still, we'll exhale on the extension and inhale to return. Still breathing nice and slowly. Exhale, keeping everything, keeping the hips and the shoulders stable. Exhale. Imagine that you've got a rod drawing up through your belly and out, up through your spine, out through the top of your head. So keep the neck in line with the spine. Exhale to extend. Inhale to lower down, nice and stable here. Exhale. And inhale. We'll do one more on either side. Exhale. Inhale. Lucky last. Exhale. And inhale. Moving into our plank now. If you're super, super strong, you can come up into a full plank. With our plank, we're mainly working these obliques and transverse abdominis. There's a little bit of stabilization, but it's mainly these muscles. So still okay to do if you're really strong. Most of us, through pregnancy, and particularly when we hit toward the end of the second and through the third trimesters, you'll want to come down onto your knees. What I want you to do is make sure that you're not actually on the knees. You want to roll onto the tops of the thighs more. Drawing the lower belly in and up, so activating the transverse abdominis. Again, spine is long, neck and head follow the line of the spine. Holding here, breathing deeply. Nice strong work. Depending on your strength, you can hold as long or as short as you like. If you need to at any time, you can take a little break, rest in child's pose, and come back and rejoin the plank when you're ready. We'll do about another 10 seconds here. Shoulders are spread, slight puffing up between the shoulder blades. And release. Let's take that child's pose just for 2 breaths. Knees nice and wide, toes together. 1. And 2. Coming into a side plank now. We're going to roll onto our side. Bring your top leg in front, bending the knee. We're going to reach the arm up to the sky. We can have the hand on the waist. Reaching that arm up for a side plank. So again, if you're super strong, you might stack those feet. That's quite a bit stronger. Really working into the obliques, or bring that foot in front a little bit easier. Nice to take the easier modifications throughout pregnancy. 5 breaths here. Keep lifting the hips. Activate those oblique muscles, these side bending muscles, side waist muscles. You can look up to the thumb. 3 more breaths. 1. Breathing deeply. 2. Take rest anytime you need to. And 3. Let's release. We'll take it over to the other side. Swinging around. One foot comes, top leg comes in front. Reaching that arm out. Reach the arm up to the sky. Nice deep breaths. Remember, you're a little bit stronger here to stack the feet. You want to be nice and strong to do that. Otherwise, take the easier modification. 5 more breaths. 1. You might like to look up to the thumb. 2. 3. Take a rest anytime you need to. 4. And 5. Coming back down. Another exercise for the obliques. The last exercise we'll do in our little prenatal core sequence. I want you to bring your knees in front slightly, so bending the knees at about 90 degrees, feet in line with your hand. We're going to come down onto the elbow here. Bring your hand onto your hip and we'll lift those hips up off the mat. You can stay here a little bit stronger, extend that leg out to straight. We're going to do some little lifts here, little lift of the hips, little lift, little lift. For 8, little stronger, 7, 6, 5, 4, almost there, 3, 2, and 1. Release, changing sides. We'll swing those legs around. So knees are bent, lining up the feet with the elbow, hand on the waist. Lift the hips, hold it here, draw the belly in, activate those oblique muscles. Stronger, you can extend the foot out. Little lifts here for 10, 9, stronger still, reach the arm up to the sky. 8, we're almost there. 7, so we're lifting the hips. 6, 5, 3, 2, and 1, release. So there you have it, a really nice core sequence. Let's take a little side stretch just to stretch out those muscles. Reach your arm over, coming into cross legs. Reach that arm over, you can bend in the elbow a little bit. Beautiful side stretch. And inhale, rising up. Reaching the other arm up, inhale. Exhale, reaching over. Beautiful sideways stretch, and then rising up. Let's bring both hands up, inhale. Hands in front of the heart center. Exhale. And namaste. Thank you so much.